Bernadette, hello. I think we're. Hello. Hello. Oh, hello. 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 Helen, hi. Karen, hi. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? Rahel, hello. Um, um, Sarah and Michael, everyone. We're Thanks for coming out in this awful weather to celebrate the Golden Book of Words. Um, we're gonna we're gonna read up to John Mason and then have a break before we finish the program. And at the very end, we'll listen to Bernadette recording of her reading the Carlton Fisk poem um, that was recorded at UPenn. And I apologize, I don't remember the date. Um, and for the readers, just announce there's a sheet up here who the next reader is after you. And I'll just read the back of the book here. This landmark early book by the late great Bernadette Mayer is finally available again. Mayer was a marvelous poet at every stage of her long and prolific writing life. But many fans especially relish her restless, powerful, sexy, and erudite early work. One of her signal elements is a deadpan wit on full display here in classic poems such as Looking Like Areas of Kansas, What Babies Really Do, or The Marvelous Essay. Perfect. The Golden Book of Words for Lewis. Why is my verse so barren for new pride, so far from variation or quick change? Why, with the time, do I not glance and hide the moving scene from memory's compounds strange? Why write I still all once ever the same, now past the hunger of studying physiology? Yet every word doth almost tell my name, and I believe in slow chronology. These poems transgress the seasons of 2 years. Oh no, sweet love, I always write of you, each winter's work burgeoning among spring's fears. So all my best is dressing old words new, and you and love are still my argument, intact as memory when I watch to see, spending always what is already spent. If traded to poetry night is day's family, for as the sun is daily new and old, quick change past Shakespeare's steepy memory, so is my love still telling what is told. Time is thievish, word to last eternity. Ellen?
Hi, everyone. The end of human reign on Bashan Hill. They come down on their snowmobiles for the last time. Come down to meet the car. They're shouting, "Hoo, hey, the snow! Give them the snow! Let them eat snow! Hey, the snow!" Looking like wild men and women, two wild children, and a grandmother, too. They're taking turns riding the snowmobile. They're getting out. Hoo, hey, the snow! Freaking out. Everybody in town watches, standing in groups by the road closed sign, shouting back, "Take it easy, the snow." On Bashan Hill, they'd lived in a cloud, watched. They'd had plenty of split peas, corn, Irish soda bread, fruitcake, chocolate, pemmican, but the main thing was no plow. Day before at the corner's grocery, news got around. They're coming down from Bashan Hill, never to return. The snow! Hey, the snow! You forget. They're coming to get a beer. Don't mess with that guy. Have another beer, smoke, jerk off, and be thankful. They're moving to a place above the store where they can be watched. The snowman will come and watch them. The pie man will come and watch them. The UPS man will come and watch them. The oil man, the gas man will watch them. The plow man will watch them. The workers on the town roads sink their shovels deep into the winter's accumulation, right before their very eyes. Eyes turn blue in the Arctic night. The brown-eyed family from Bashan Hill, in town for a postage stamp. The black-eyed family of deer. The open-eyed rabbits. The circle-eyed raccoons. The white-eyed bear. Where do the green frogs winter that look so old? We watched so carefully, our eyes became vacant. Our minds stirred from laughter, all the memories of a chant. Hoo, hey, the snow! They've come down the hill, we watch in a cloud, night of the full moon. Icy... That makes the microphone move. Icy crowd on the road watching them. Have a piece of chocolate. Open your eyes. Karen. You look just as surprised as I did.
What babies really do. Light, like the life I'm in. Who said that? Did you say that? Did I? Eating doesn't go with prose or poetry. Spaghetti, maybe. Out a window, cool spring gray day, with only tips of trees in buds. The ground's not wet yet. Something leaps and bounds. Mother's always too specific. Ounces of pounds, silver on silver. I wouldn't actually eat a clam with a spoon. It's too rubbery. Often when I'm happy, a fear comes over me. Not fear that the joy will end, but fear that circumstances beyond my control and unexpected will arise to prevent me from ever feeling joy again. We'll get dresses from Boston, like the elation of a sealed fruit, pure banana with the elation of the afternoon in its skin. Rheingold, kasha, Scotch, cooler. I let endless thoughts go by in between, like the rice that looks like a belly. I don't have my own voice, so I quickly end the pleasure of the first gray day that was truly brown in the air. Many trees have snapped in half this winter. One big maple threatens the house with its leaking bark, a crack right down the side of an arm of it. We agree it'll fall, but in what direction? Rice beads, rutted road, too many things in my ideas. I like the New Yorker, where the poems have no ideas. I like the gray, sappy maples losing their branches over me. The brown road's okay, smell of bananas. Birds are good, you live inside them. We found your slip, you should see my view. You forgot to remind me not to have another beer. It's an endless afternoon, it refuses to rain. I fill up my mouth with Dashiell Hammett-type smoke. It refuses to be consistent, as there are ingredients all over, and more branches, chair legs, and more flour. I sit with the food, tuna tempter, kasha varnishkas, 101 fillets, not just brown bread, but brown bread with raisins. You order more than 5 pounds of oranges. I carry a crate in the back of my Jeep or keep sunflower kernels to replace the sight of one. Life like it is. The gray branches won't move unless wind blows them. She's in motion as usual to the tune. It's a luxury to stay inside. I haven't finished singing out loud. Listen, gaggle, gaggle, brew, ah, ha, ha. Thoughts unravel, run after her. The sun won. The edge of the wind is cold, 2, 3. Nothing much but poetry. Aha, I hear. Helen. Yeah, I'm finished. I'm here for you. I'm waiting. I'm getting the page for you. Oh, thank you. There you go.
Hello. Great to be here. Wherever you are, Amber, I don't know you, but the library is amazing. Really. Where are you? Amazing. I spent a lot of time in there today, and it's beautiful. I am reading, and I find this so interesting on the visuals. If you have the book or you've seen the poem, so Bernadette uses parentheses. So instability, parenthesis, weather. I would eat a lilac if it were a violet, forcing the unstable sun which is swirling around us in the northeast to thunder and lightning. This air clears itself of clouds at night. We got the lilacs, but have to abandon the rhubarb to the new tenants, a few donkeys and a goat. We got the first few mustard plants and some apple blossoms. We get the coldest air of the last frost. The birds aren't even chirping properly. I must get back to the lilacs. So excited when I saw them first blooming in the back next to the apple tree. I nearly jumped for joy. My heart beats rapidly because they are late and we are moving. Blossoms for Louis and Charlotte, who's here. The lilacs were so far away I didn't get to them, but I won't tell. I'll go with a scissor tomorrow. The scissor, I'll hide in the woods tonight. For some strange reason I'll never say, I'll never have lived a more exciting day. Bernadette. Oh, thank you. Rahul?
Hello, I'm Raheel. It's an honor. All right. Barbara Walters. I have no place to put the coats. If I did have a place to put the coats, that would mean I would have carried my uncle's coat containers, whatever you call them, from Ridgewood to 11th Street, to 9th Street, to York Ave, to 26th Street, to Great Barrington, to Grand Street, to 2nd Ave, and then to here so I could put the coats in it to move them to Lenox. I remember Rosemary asking the Railway Expressmen to take a trunk full of books down the stairs once. "What's in the trunk?" they yelled. "It's full of books," she said. "You're crazy," they yelled back. This is what I think when I pack. Wow, I'm so nervous. Can you hear it in my voice? I'm trembling. Okay. Whew, I did it. Annabelle.
This is going to be Invasion of the Body Snatchers, of course. And I'm really, really glad that Phil did this. Such a wonderful event, bringing us all together, bringing the book into this blossoming Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Moon out and no snow yet, November 1st. The first anniversary of our wedding and the day before Election Day, 1976. Yesterday was Halloween. Next Friday, I have an appointment with the dentist, and the following Tuesday is Lewis's 32nd birthday. Exactly 1 week after that, Marie will be 11 months old. The day before yesterday, we turned the clocks back 1 hour, which made it seem like every day will have an extra hour in it, not only of darkness, but of just plain time. The time I used to spend skipping lunch is longer. The time for dinner is too early now. The time for sunset comes too soon. The time between dinner and Marie's bedtime is too long. When it's time to go to bed, there's still a few hours left to read. I'm dreaming twice as much as before. I spend all my new time lying in bed thinking. Last night, I saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and tonight, when I came into my room to go to work, I found an old seed pod on the floor by my desk. In the movie, if you see one of these, it's time to die. It's time to write some letters. Good cold air comes in my window. It wakes me up. We had a bottle of champagne, and Marie went to sleep without crying. It's time to read Fielding's Guide to European Travel and the Alice Toklas Cookbook again, a few books by John McPhee, our new American Heritage Anniversary Dictionary, The Adventures of a Mathematician by Stanislav Ulam, and The Wild Boy of Aveyron by a behaviorist psychologist about a boy brought up by wolves. John Mason.
How many February birthdays do we have here? See? February birthdays? Just one, right? Two. That's why I like this poem. It's called A Very Strong February. Because February, is like the only month that has less than 30 days. And it's the only month that has an inconsistent number of days. So it's sort of like the miscellaneous month, which has nothing to do with this poem at all. Very strong February. A man and a woman pretend to be white ice. 3 men at the lavender door are closed in by the storm. With strong prejudice and money to buy the green pines, one weekend fishermen and blue painters watch the vivid violet winds blow visibility from the mountain beyond the Black Valley. That means, or then you know, you're in a big cloud of it. It's brilliant white mid-February, a week or two left on distracting black trees before the brownish buds obscure your view of the valley again. Look for company. 4 dark men and a burnt sienna woman. Come in for 3 minutes, then bye-bye like a gold watch left on the chair, or part of the sum of what big white families think up to store for long yellow Sundays to eat for brown ecological company at some point later. Gorgeous red adventure stops. Do you forget to turn it down and laugh in the face of the fearful white storm anyway, or picture it brilliant blue for a further Sunday memory in a coloring book? You talk as lightly as you can, refusing a big pink kiss. You burned the Sunday sauce of crushed red tomatoes. You turn it down to just an orange glow. This particular storm, considering the pause and the greenish thaw before it, reminds me in its mildness of imitating a sea green memory that is actually in the future. I imitate an imagined golden trumpet sound, or the brilliant purple words of a man or woman I haven't met yet. Or perhaps it's a gray-haired man I already know who said something yesterday to a mutual friend who will give me the whole story in black and white tomorrow or the day after, just as the big orange plows for the local businesses go to work to push away the rest of the white snow that will fall tonight. So now, Philip, we have a break? Oh. You added, is this? Oh, Michael Ruby?
I was thinking of a line of poetry as I drove over here that put Bernadette in mind also is, in East Nassau, it might be raining. And for those of you who wanted more, this is a long poem called Easy Puddings, not East Nassau. I'll try to do a good job with it. Easy Puddings. I think that I shall never see easy puddings in a tree. You say you must type everything. You can't read your words in handwriting. Mary says she has a double or a twin, and now a triplet, and she is a skinny, energetic person too. I dream of Sarah Thorne sorting out the clothing. I dream the doctor of the Incas, my doctor, is you or Matthew Christmas Tree, our bookseller. I see both of you clearly with your awesome dark beards, full of animal crackers. I joke with you about buying a bra. I measure myself. I have a 38-inch bust, as they used to say, but with nipples excited by the tape measure, it's only 36. I guess this is not a decorous poem, as Donne or Pope would have set it all up 1400 to 1800 AD in the Western world we've got, where the work of women holds up half the sky. And yet the desire to write tonight is born, dare I say it, like a seed on the wind, and so on. We were talking to your mother, and she told us every detail of your sister's country rental, the home of a doctor in Putnam County. It's never been rented before in 22 years. I have my fears about women, deeply felt in my desires to please them. I know many Margarets who are so stark in their admiration of other efficient women, Susans who are close to the ground, Alices who please and clothe us tightly, and a Grace who likes to be free of clothing, like all the Emmas and their freewheeling breasts. I do know some Marys who are somewhat tight-assed, and even a Leonora, a Theodora, and a Florence, and a Beatrice in my memory of what I might be like. I do not know any pearls or violets outside of books, but I've heard a lot about a Ruby who was a black housekeeper to a psychoanalyst. Opals, my mother feared, had brought her bad luck, and emeralds I wore as my female birthstone, emerald rings brought as gifts for Holy Communion or First Holy Communion, along with checks enough to buy a garnet centered in diamonds. Here is your mother's diamond ring. It's set in gold, new gold, white gold. Platinum is too cheap. She took it off to wash the dishes, or too dear. A thick gold wedding band, they say may be stolen from the tomb. I don't know. I'd like to see these men or women who steal the bands from tombs more than I'd like to see myself duplicated in another human being. I am too safe with my poet's senses and ideas, held too bereaved of the grief of the need to steal a vivid platinum sacred scarf or needle for my new baby or stereo. After all, women hold up half the sky. Your mother says my temperament prevents me. I don't like to be confined. I say to her the same way you hate confinement. I must keep active in my mind so little babies learn to speak real fast. French, Latin, and Greek come out before I ever demand my milk and shoes, and then I go. I say to the herbal doctor, there is a vivid grief in me. I fear the things that are not real. Childbirth and insects. Tetanus never scared me more than the moment I saw a sign advertising red snapper and peas at $4 in a restaurant window several years ago. Don't worry, doctor. I'll be a good Western patient, stoic in labor and breathing joyously in its fruits for us yet later. I may sting the child. Who knows? Someday my wild imagination will tell me that the street has turned the world upside down again. I'll lose my bearings and speak for logic without peace. I'll lose for a moment the superstitions that sustain me. I'll forget how I look and love only New Englanders. I'll assume their pale brown frown. My yellow eyes will assess only the feeble crops of the government in the fields. I'll say to my children, now sentient, but still less complex, this world is lost. I'll say to my husband, we must vanquish this world and seek the new. We must deal a swift death blow to the monster, else this life is death to us. You see, though I seem to fear nothing real, in almost every case I am able to hit the nail on the head. The children and the parents need lively interference, and nature, however ill from lust, will set our scene. I defend our states of consciousness. I hate our allies, our own moods, and I feel large. I sweetly see the bourgeoisie coming evenly to defend our comforts. We are artists. We hold up the sky. We hold up the end of the sky. We hold up the next part of the discovered sky. We try to hold up in the sky. We defend the uncovered part of the sky. Next to half of nothing, we brazenly will hold up the sky for you. We will make holes in the sky for you. We will eat holes in the sky for you. And for each, our sky is full of holes, half the sky. has been held up for you. Wait now. I will hold up the rest and rest for a minute. I think I know you. Prairie fire, you have not come to be intimidated or to be claimed. You are not a child growing in an unknown mother whose hearts and fears and chemistry are foreign. I will isolate and contradict you for a moment. I'll hold back and not meet head on the tedious difficulties and complications of the Latinate language and the false Greek head starts of the Western peoples, 1400 to 1800. I'll give you a charm from a dream of remembering, warm swallowing and calm, weary moments, movement away from dense cause and a purpose. Give me a moment and I'll remember moving. Struggle is not defeat. From the part that fears, we must not overdo it. We are indigenous to the parts that fear what is spilled over. I am here, but I might as well hear anything from here to the next recognition of my historical reality. For now, Solomon of the Bible, or a cow giving milk and serving as a lecture or an example in Avicenna's memory in an ancient philosophy of thought. I lose the silver for a moment, or the moment, the Monet, the water lilies, the famous money stored in cash or borrowed that encircles the finger of my hand that is Western and Germanic and dark and married me to you who study mysticism and want to hear all about it. We get to this point, don't we, wanting to know, yet knowing already. And then what is it that we are to say? It's taken me long enough and in a poor form, as if a poor farm or pure form. Either would be a better place for this revealment of a practicable immigrant sought for his or her knowledge, gotten, if you knew, from the collision of gnats, the dead souls with pure, bright nursery moths in pink and yellow colors at the window, and we say, we are all so exhausted and excited by this time, and this tie together, and this constant motion, yet a mere speck will make us move in two ways, and we can only guarantee this. Once by the river, we will move each time, and once again, each day, inside the house. Russell.
Medicine Man. To immobilize a pigeon, you cover the bird with a cloth the size of a pillowcase, pick it all up, and throw it out the window, setting the pigeon free. Tobacco came from the Mohawks today in the same mail with herbal prenatal medicines prescribed by our man in Harlemville. And something else happened. It was the man who smokes down into the ground. He sat tonight in the library yard with his big head hanging over his smoking. And when he left, we saw he'd made a heap of 17 Marlboro cigarette butts, all burned out identically to the ends in a big pile of ashes in the grass. Erica.
Hi, thanks. I think that it makes a lot of sense that the weather is so shitty today, since basically most of what this book is about is how shitty the weather is. This book is so full of Bernadette's Taurus qualities. It's like you always know what the temperature is in every single poem. I can completely relate. River ice. The winter's long. We're going to move south. We're going to move south someday. I see look on your face that could be inherited I see a look on my face despite my bright scarf that I am only 10 years old. Dark eyes not to be inherited. Our dreams at night are unwittingly simple. You have been arrested again. I am in a flood. You are being tested by the lady in the library. I'm being asked to buy my own arts and crafts, and the silver's too expensive, so I make false teeth of oranges like the nectarines and mushrooms that are out of our range. They cost more than meat. My sister's dancing freely. A friend of mine is weeping. My daughter looks like me, and all of us are hoping to escape to the second floor, the surprise dream room, where there will be air to breathe above the level of mounting snow. And now the ice floes have covered the streets. They're running rapidly. A child will have to be carried above them to be rescued. Someday we'll escape and know that our beauty was sublime. Beyond the time we recognized it, we'll know we could have gotten away with it. I can't stand it when someone writes you an angry letter. I will fight if you aren't adored. My dictionary tells me to remember my energy and forget my clout, my bout with fears, or my standing about in imperfect sentences, longing to be praised or taller for the first time. There is a violence in the book that even belies the rhyme. A field of floating ice at the surface of a sea, a piece of such a field broken off and floating free. Would I be crazy if I thought the ice in the river was beating me up for wanting to taste oranges in March, for beginning to resemble you, for losing and gaining in an adjectival winter a superlative instinct for loss? It's in the ribbons of my hair. I wear a blue shirt, a bright scarf, and a dark sweater. Your pants in the family. You move the boxes about. You know I secretly know how good or bad you're feeling as I sweep over where the boxes were. Delectable ice. Formidable family, at the risk of being ordinary, we yearn toward you. The medieval presence of a youth's persistent ideals in the walls. Not American, too old for that. Not yet dreadful or asleep, though we might wish for that in our fantasies. In this house, we only seek to please our own eyes. Tastes and loves and hatreds chime back and forth between us, speaking when spoken to. Magic rises to the ceiling, a mystic nodding, all forbidden. Who's looking? Who knows? Like a part of one's appearance, you would have changed it then. Later our eyes demand it be the same. You could kiss me and feel what I mean. Drifting and looking, perusing, it's the window or the mirror. It's the free dream or the spirit to change and be requesting, demanding a dream in the spiritual ice of the window, in the marvelous ice of the eye. Your spirit's reflection, my marvel, my love, the elegant turn your drifting takes when we awaken, demanding to know what each other has seen. How shall I put it? Katie Fowley is next.
Simplicities are glittering. If all goes well, I think 2 pens are open. At the same time, I might be dying and not know it. End the line in the exact wrong place. Though fear of dying is different from the whiskey I found in the wrong place. There's a crash. Someone says, "Come quickly." I watched myself from a perch on the ceiling. I saw the open window in fear of the diseases that Clark says wait around goes away. Yes, I want to be transparent as you are when you fly. Jim Brodey flew in my dream of the magazine where poets die. I eat my cake and fear noises too. I hurry to write a sudden poem, not as day is going away, but as I'm only here in the dark, as night is in its middle and I have no time for words, like sunset or dreary dawn. I see too much. I eat and drink and smoke without pretensions. Each note I make comes flying back on the tape recorder, dense and unannounced, garbled in meerschaum, like a pipe for smoking beer. I listen and breathe rapidly when I'm out to wait, to see how suddenly a gift will alarm me, how wasteful and quick stubbornness is, how glad I'll be when you lock the door and refuse to let me out. The red roof is shoveled. I speak, but I hear. I move each body around like a piece of furniture, away from the noise I am making. This must be a quiet house of experiments, quickly chosen, mercilessly followed. Eden so rich, so full of cream and dreamlike merriment. The happiness of torture learned to form a wing. I fly out easily to meet what used to come in. No speech is filtered, garble it, effect, defect. I used to know you yesterday. I burned. I suddenly know you, but we have no time. Today I know your speech, but I have no rhyme. I speak to you as Shakespeare, monitoring feeling. I speak to you as Valéry, with emotion, but about things. I speak to you as Proust. I can't be brief at all. I speak to you hurriedly, battering, or as Gertrude Stein, just bantering. I love to speak to you as Mallarmé in Jules. And of a piece, I speak as Larry McMurtry, in the vast spaces of someone else's words, in the ideas of the opposite sex. I speak aloud as Williams and Pound about my tree in the queue for the bus. I watch you waiting there with them. I speak to you most as John Bunyan, a little mixed with Sophocles. I know what I can see. This allegory is as of a woman alone, Sappho perhaps, but it's faked and more like Virginia Woolf, not her real name. I speak to you in Hawthorne's clear Latinate sentences, so spun on my own head, so owned by me. I speak to you of my feelings as he dismisses me for being so Catholic, for being so divine, for trying to be so Ashbury and Kerouac all at once, for trying to be missing nothing, to even be Ted Berrigan and his Catholic Catullus at the same time. And in the end, each time I speak, I look around religiously as Dante did, and I am meek. Kimberly. Elidio. Nope. Sarah Stedman.
Oh no. A beautiful day in the Poetry State Forest for an essay of Bernadette's. I guess it's too late to live on the farm. I guess it's too late to move to a farm. I guess it's too late to start farming. I guess it's too late to begin farming. I guess we'll never have a farm. I guess we're too old to do farming. I guess we couldn't afford to buy a farm anyway. I guess we're not well suited to being farmers. I guess we'll never have a farm now. I guess farming is not in the cards now. I guess Lewis wouldn't make a good farmer. I guess I can't expect we'll ever have a farm now. I guess I have to give up all my dreams of being a farmer. I guess I'll never be a farmer now. We couldn't get a farm anyway, though Allen Ginsberg got one late in life. Maybe someday I'll have a big garden. I guess farming is really out. Feeding the pigs and the chickens, walking between miles of rows of crops. I guess farming is just too difficult. We'll never have a farm. Too much work and still to be poets? Who are the farmer poets? Was there ever a poet who had a self-sufficient farm? Flannery O'Connor raised peacocks, and Wendell Berry has a farm. Faulkner may have farmed a little. And Robert Frost had farmland. And someone told me Samuel Beckett farmed. Very few poets are real farmers. If William Carlos Williams could be a doctor and Charlie Vermont too? Why not a poet who is also a farmer? Of course, there was Brook Farm, and Virgil raised bees. Perhaps some poets of the past were overseers of farmers. I guess poets tend to live more momentarily than life on a farm would allow. You could never leave the farm to give a reading or go to a lecture by Emerson in Concord. I don't want to be a farmer, but my mother was right. I should never have tried to raise out of the proletariat. Unless I can convince myself, as Satan argues with Eve, that we are among a proletariat of poets of all the classes, each ill-paid and surviving on nothing, or on as little as one needs to survive, steadfast as any farmer and fixed as the stars, tenants of a vision we rent out endlessly. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, everybody. And Katie Taylor.
Oh, good. The number is there. Okay. Well, just one more poem and then a recording, right, Phil? Okay. Passover pleasure. It's not matzo ball soup. It's hot matzo ball soup and a glass of sacramental wine make blood rush to my head as I leave the Seder table to nurse the willful, intransigent, and unpredictably regressing baby born in November's first isolating blizzard. Today demands love from strangers to her, talkative blood relations. I'm late for the brisket and pancakes, the yearly picture of Harry in his hat. I miss a little pleasure, a dereliction I will be accountable for to God. This momentary fasting interrupts my heavenly work and is harmful to the community. I drink more thick red wine with a white grape juice chaser laced with fierce concentration on the contours of your mother's face, Ray and her sister Fanny, whose husband died when she was young, whose son fell in love with his cousin, whose daughter had 5 children, and then her husband had a vasectomy. He runs a bagel factory in Pennsylvania and owns 2 Cadillacs, but won't let his wife hire help because he doesn't want a stranger. Elijah's in the house. Don't close that door.
I'm going to read Carlton Fisk's My Ideal. He wears a beautiful necklace next to the beautiful skin of his neck, unlike the Worthington butcher, Bradford T. Fisk. Butchers always have a crush on me, who cannot even order veal except in whole legs of it. Oh, the legs of a catcher. Catchers squat in a posture that is, of course, denying orgasm. But Carlton Fisk, I could model a whole attitude to spring on him. And he is a leaper, like Walt Frazier, or better, the only white leaper, I forget his name, in the ABA's All-Star Game halftime slam dunk contest this year. I think about Carlton Fisk in his modest home in New Hampshire all the time. I love the sound of his name, denying orgasm. Carlton and I look out at the window at spring's first nor'easter. He carries a big hero across the porch of his home to me. He has no year-round Christmas tree, like Clifford Ray, who handles the ball like a banana. We eat and watch the storm batter the buds, balking on the trees, and cover the green of the grass that my sister thinks is new grass. It's last year's grass still, and still there is no spring training as I write this. March 16th, 1976. The year of the blizzard that sealed our love up in a great mound of orgasmic earth. The pitcher's mound is the lightning mound. Pudge will see fastballs in the wind. His mescaline arm extends to the field. He wears his necklace. He catches the ball in his teeth. Balls fall with a neat thunk in the upholstery of the leather glove he puts on to caress me as told to in the off-season. All of a sudden, he leaps from the couch. A real ball has come through the window and is heading for the penguins on his sweater, one of whom has lost his balloon, which is floating up into the sky. Sorry.